So here we are. Good morning, everyone. This is Sahar, and you're watching Rethink with Sahar. This is a space where we rethink ideas, we rethink thoughts, and try to look at everything in new light. So today we have with us Dr. E.K. Mallela. Dr. E.K. Mallela is an author, he's a coach, he's a speaker, and he's a hypnotherapist. So, welcome, Doctor. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Sahar. Thank you for having me on Rethink. It's a great concept, great brand, and I'm excited to be on this show.
Thank you. Thank you. And so you are author, coach, speaker, hypnotherapist, and you're an executive. And how do you manage all this together? How come so many feathers in the same hat?
Yeah,
In
I
one
mean,
hat.
yes, that's an excellent question. That I was not like this before long ago. I was struggling like any other corporate employee and struggling to even do one task that it would take me long hours. I would end up
Wow.
doing on weekends and working in nights. So I was not like this until I prioritized my wellness, my mind mastery, and I took a great deal into mastering and understanding the mysteries of the mind, how it works,
Beautiful.
and diving further into. I grew it to the extent that I studied uh, from Kashmir all the way to Scotland, understand working with change masters, pioneers in NLP, like
Mhm.
directly from Richard Bandler in understanding
Wow.
neurolinguistics behind it, and I did my board certification in clinical hypnotherapy. Then everything changed,
Great.
like when I started using. So I was able to do many things after that. Like at the same time I was doing dual certification from MIT and Harvard in leadership and transformation. In 1 year, I completed
Mm-hmm.
both university degrees in specialization. And then I finished my doctorate. I got promoted as an executive. I took, then, I mean, all that experience and all that building, all prioritizing my wellness led me to believe that I have some great strategic advantage. But I was also observing at the same time, like my
Uh-huh.
colleagues and other people are still suffering, are struggling with mind and relationship burnout. Actually, in fact, one of my colleague on his way to on the day he received the best employee award, he was just walking down and while he was opening his car door, he just fell down and
Oh,
went into coma, and he stayed in coma for 6 years. Doctors said like he went into stress, and
oh
his kind of
my
brain
goodness.
frozen because of high stress he experienced, and nothing else was wrong with him. And even after he came back, he was started suffering. So this led me to believe like what I
Mhm.
had was not just an advantage but a necessity and a need for everyone to have.
Mhm.
So then found the
Definitely.
transcend mind at that time, Sahar. And then I started helping other people doing clinical trials and how people can overcome behavioral change in help overcoming addictions to getting fit and achieving their goals, and people stuck with pain and gain cycle trying to use willpower, working harder. So I helped them switch their ways and created a structure. I even written a book about it, Better You, where I
Yes.
explain all these concepts and and now I have a very systemic approach in helping people heal and grow exponentially using what we call a Better You approach.
Beautiful. Better you. And what is this better you? And how did you told us that from outside there were you saw your friends, your co-workers or others suffering because of the stress and everything around them, and then you were kind of feeling good. You felt there was something good in you. So when did that feeling, that thing, that you were different than others, and that being different, when did it start?
Yeah, I started noticing like people have to be mean, and people have to be like very adrenaline functioning and like have to pump themselves in. So they have to like push themselves hard and have to use a strong language to impress. And work hard and cut through the ways, cut through the chase, do things that they shouldn't do, and at the end regret like they didn't even do anything good for
Yeah.
themselves, nor anything. So I
Mm-hmm.
was finding it very hard to believe myself. Like people are not even smiling. Like every day they used to be stressed and saying mean things, and like there
Mm-hmm.
is no good environment. And corporate these days, everybody talks about toxic work cultures and
Oh
multitasking,
yes.
decision fatigue. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
these same guys have pushed through hard limits in understanding science and finding breakthroughs. When it comes to themselves, they are like, why are they so mean? Why are they so broken? Why are they so burnt out? Why can't they smile? Why can't they be friendly? And why can't they embrace influence and be soft? And I felt like I was in a totally
Oh.
different world altogether. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like the other people have to see like this mind. The struggles they're experiencing, the procrastination. Like one VP I used to talk like, she used to push through procrastination thinking like there is no answer for it. I've done so many therapies. I even took pills and nothing works and there is no cure. I procrastinate all day. I work in the night. So she's a VP and you're supposed to she's able to do good in when it comes to solving technological problems. When it comes to solving her procrastination, she has zero knowledge, zero experience, and she doesn't even believe there is an answer for it. So it
And
was very
we
hard when I started speaking right to these people and asking them, why are you struggling? What are you struggling with? I mean, you seem to solve this well, but you're like not
like
really
regarding
adapt.
your
You're not,
life.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
not in the life. And when you're talking, you're not smiling. You're stressed out. You're like, why do you have to say those mean things? Why do you have to fire somebody? So I was like, I had so many million-dollar questions like, why couldn't you be, like the same way you solve the science problems? Why can't you solve the
The
human problem? Be more human
your
and more
own
caring.
brain problems, yes, the
Yeah, yeah,
biology in
sure.
your brain.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
the thing that you say, that you cannot smile, you cannot embrace, so these things seem small, but when you stop doing them, you feel like how much you don't realize, but others do, how much
yes.
they are missing. And at one time, when you realize how much you have been missing, your own smile, and that's the most disastrous of all the moments. Don't you think so?
Exactly. Exactly, exactly. I mean, a lot of people, like as you say that, don't even think that there is a possibility because they are only experienced to pushing through all this muscular action like a superhuman power. They have to push through hard,
Push
push through the
through.
pain. They don't think like there is a softer skill that is involved, which is a more deeper mind, executive function like the prefrontal cortex. What they are pushing
Exactly.
through is called a sympathetic nervous system. It involves
Mhm.
adrenaline, chemical reactions, having more caffeine. I mean, I can tell you, I didn't take caffeine since I started this, like since a decade. I didn't take a sip of caffeine, sip of a coffee.
Beautiful.
I have tons of energy. I'm fit. Like, I tell them they can't even believe it. How is that possible? I don't even take caffeine, and I'm more energetic than them, more smiling, and they are always like, within an hour, if they don't have another sip of coffee, they are like, "Oh,
They're
I
like,
can't take.
they're gone.
I'm not going to that meeting at all." So that is a huge difference, right? And they think there is no
Yeah.
solution for it. That's the whole thinking of them is like they never experienced that it is possible to be
Mhm.
energetic without depending on all these chemicals, right? So
And
there is a
what
natural source of energy.
what is that natural source? I was going to ask you that question.
Yeah.
What is that natural source? Because if we look at the Indian tradition, they call it prana,
Yes.
right? I
Yes.
know you meditate too, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you are well aware of what prana is, the life force within us. So what do you
Yes.
think it is?
Yes, it
Where
is
does it come from?
very much like that. In Ayurveda, we call it the natural elements of the fire, air, the air, the prana. You said about the ground
Yeah.
energy. So you should look at the energy of light that is moving around and giving us the purpose. Energy of the earth, we are giving us groundedness, gratitude. We don't have those symbolic representation within us, means that we are disconnected from the natural source. Same goes in the
Mm.
western science when it comes to mind, understanding the subconscious mind, understanding the hypnotic nature, understanding the amygdala, the fear center that is responsible for four
Oh.
four main
Mhm.
disasters, right? The self doubt, the anger, the fear, and the shame. So it's like a
Oh
vicious
yes,
cycle. People cannot get over
exactly.
this simple self doubts, fear, anger, shame, and not aligning with the nature. And then they are trying to push through. Imagine it's like you are not taking help of God given source. You're not taking help of the your own biggest asset, the mind, which functions without, which need to get rid of this fear, anger, self doubt, and shame in order for you to open up that the parachute within you. You have like trillions of cells according to science. Each cell is like a $50,000 computer chip that is like a quad core
Exactly.
computer. That
It's
yeah, you have
yeah.
trillions of them. No supercomputer, no
Powerhouses.
AI can
Yeah.
replace a single human power. Even if you bring all the world of chips together, all the supercomputer, all the AIs, it cannot replace one single human brain capacity because you have
Wow.
trillions of cells. Each one is worth like each AI computer. Like you have
Mm-hmm.
so much of capacity, almost like a lot of scriptures say you are made in the image of God. That is true, scientifically true. You are made in the image of
Scientifically
God.
true.
Yeah, you, and
Yes.
then for you to suffer through a doubt or experience shame, anger is so irrelevant because imagine God having this capacity, your God given capacity, and suffering through a self doubt moment where you have to be mean, where you are suffering through anger, you're experiencing instead of love, and where you are suffering through shame instead of, joy and grace, and you're experiencing fear instead of faith. This is like people don't even think like this is, oh, I shouldn't be experiencing this because I am such made of such a capacity. I have so much natural alignment that I can go through groundedness, gratitude, air, like the
Yeah.
prana you said.
Like
So
exactly.
the difference is like so easily found out, right? But why are the people not seeing the difference? You're like a God given capacity and you're experiencing
Exactly. And
anger, fear, procrastination. You should question it. Why I'm
yeah.
procrastinating? It is not legally possible because you have so much of capacity and you're procrastinating. You should question it. You have a decision fatigue. You have a
Maybe you're
multitasking issue.
trying to yeah, maybe you're
Yeah,
trying to fit your vast energy into a box. And you're
yeah.
thinking that
There you
you are
go.
the box and not the
Yeah.
expansion outside.
Yes, you actually nailed it because we have something called amygdala within us. That is a
Yeah.
peanut-sized brain. You won't believe it's right in the center
Uh-huh.
of our brain. If
Mm-hmm.
you look at dinosaurs, they just have
Yeah.
amygdala. Most of the animals
Oh,
have bigger amygdala. They don't have a other
okay.
brain capacity like us. What
Great.
differentiates us from
Mm-hmm.
what differentiates us from the animals is the animals are just made of amygdala. Amygdala does only one thing: fear, shame, anger, and self-doubt. That's like
Mm-hmm.
if you look at gigantic dragon, which can do fireballs and huge, but if somebody touches on its head, it listens to them. If somebody goes from the back and they can control it if they just put a hand on it, because that is the fear talking. They are
Fear.
driven by fear, and as you said, everybody shrunk into that fear, the tiny peanut size. And when that triggers
Mm-hmm.
off, it feels
Mm-hmm.
like the whole world is consumed with fear. But you should question God
Yeah.
made with so much of energy, nature, air, and made us with trillions ocean. How can we shrink into a fear zone? Because we are activating that animalistic nature within us and shrinking ourselves into the tiny peanut sized brain. Instead of trillions of cells, we have prefrontal cortex and the whole power we have given by
Mhm.
just by a creation of us.
Exactly. And in Better You, you are saying that in 90 days, you'll be a different self. So,
Yes.
how do you accomplish that?
Excellent question. So what most people try to do is try to find this balance, try to
Mm-hmm.
find the willpower, try to find some motivational coach or monk style answers for everything. So
Mm-hmm.
that is never possible because according to neurolinguistic, only 33% depends on our internal state of what you
Mm-hmm.
are experiencing, because we are like
Okay.
a information packet, like a sponge ball that is soaking in
Mm-hmm.
information from the environment, from the relationship. All these contribute to more than 60% of what you're experiencing. So, in order
Mm-hmm.
for you to become successful, become a strategic leader, become wealthy, become highly confident, having an executive presence, able to unlock the goals that you want without any fear and frustration, is to systematize your strategy of yourself. Like you have
Wow.
strategy when it comes to like implementing something in your tech world, or implementing something in your corporate
Y-
business. You always
yes.
have a system, you follow a system, you follow a plan. But when it comes to yourself, where is that system?
There is a system. Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't have
we
that.
just we just wang it, like, oh, I have a self doubt, we just wang it, push through, like 10 times harder and 20 times harder. We don't have it. But what if I give you a system where you can question this self doubt and find, get to a state, get to this influence, get to put your process in. So that's what better you does. We give a 6 step
Okay.
process where you are turning all these um, hard ways to push through willpower and
Mm-hmm.
systematizing yourself. We are telling you how to systematize your mind, the way mind works. Because remember, when you start to learn driving car, or even when you're a child trying to feed yourself, if most
Mm-hmm.
people remember this, like they almost give up, like feel like I will be miserable in life because I can't feed myself.
It could
You all
be
have that.
right.
Everybody has that experience. You remember
Exactly.
writing a letter A. We always, a lot of
Oh,
people struggle first time they write a letter. It's like their head goes banging, but
as if
it
they'll never be able to do it.
yeah, but everything changes when they put the system in place. Like they started using a right type of book that motivates them. They started
Mm-hmm.
going to school. It changes the
Mm-hmm.
environment, changes everything. And then they
Mm-hmm.
started valuing everything. Oh, I love the letter A. I love the way it looks. I love the book. I love the experience of writing. I love that my mom cooks for me because I write the letter A. Everything changes, right? Then you wrote the
Yeah.
letter A until you valued everything, until you started appreciating everything, until you systematized everything. You did not write the letter A. You did not feed yourself. How can you be successful in life when you cannot systematize your procrastination, getting rid of it, and systematize your leadership? So same thing you have to do with yourself. Systematize everything. You stop doing what you did as a child to get here, to become a leader. But now you left that system and you started embracing this system of having caffeine, system of pushing through. Where is that system that
Yeah.
systematizes your growth? So that's
That's
what better
right.
you does to you. Better you
Wow.
systematizes your growth in a way that it runs on autopilot. You sleep like a monk, you wake up like having the goals in your mind and go about crushing them.
You know what I feel like is we are busy pushing things around, right?
Yes.
Do this, do that, and we're not able to accomplish anything. And the moment
Yeah.
we sit back, relax, and things start moving.
Yes. Yes.
Isn't
Yes.
that true? And
Yes.
when we talk, yeah,
Yeah, that's so true, because I mean the way our body and mind works is does only two things. We think like mind has the mind be doing so many things. No, mind and body does only two things. It relaxes, it processes. It relaxes, processes.
and
You
processes.
cannot take a sip of water, you cannot digest. Your mind won't think unless you relax and then process.
Yeah,
Relax, process. Your job then is very simple. You relax, relax, relax. So that's what we help you do. Relax all the way to the extent that you won't believe that the process goes by itself
will
smooth.
start it by itself.
And yeah, uh, uh, so this is where the huge shift is, right? So you have to utilize the natural driven tendency of your mind, natural driven tendency of your
Mm,
body and your nature, your environment, instead of trying to force your man-made ways of pushing through through the guide that pushes you backwards. Even if you achieve something by pushing through this, you are losing yourself, right?
yeah, exactly. And Dr. Malella, when you talk about leadership, you're a leadership coach. So,
Yes.
what do you think is a leader? What makes a leader?
That's an excellent question. I mean, leadership is not somebody who's always tell this in my seminars, to like somebody who has a corner office and have a title to them. That doesn't make one leader. Leadership is about influence. Leadership about driving the results. So
Hmm.
that is a strategic shift. We always get bogged down by trying to hold the title, trying to hold that corner office, and trying to do everything to preserve it. And like leaders lose their value. That's why the wall is struggling today, because you can see like people in Congress sitting for 30 years, because they are all they're doing is people are trying to preserve their positions. That's
Oh,
when
yes.
the leadership lacks, and we cannot achieve any type of meaningful results. When leaders shift to like giving up on their titles and not let the title tell us that this is a leader of something. If you look at any person in the world today, can you tell this person is leading XYZ outcome, this person is leading a value of something? It is very rare to
Yeah.
tell, because every you can tell this person is a congressman, this person is a president of France, this person is a king, but you cannot tell what is he king about, what is he leading, what is this person CEO of healthcare, but what is he CEO of healthcare? Is he just there to make money? Or so we always question this. What is this? What are the leaders? And then we don't. There is Harvard research shows that 70% of the employees don't feel like their leaders or leaders at all. Like it's a proven
Hmm.
survey result. Like no more than 70% or actually more than 80% don't trust the leaders to lead to a meaningful outcomes, because a lot of leaders
Hmm.
just hold the titles and positions. But the true leadership comes from influence. True leadership comes from letting go and trying to show that you're through your executive presence, through your
Wow.
vision, through your having that empathy for your employees and communicating and putting their well-being first, trying to show that you can bring outcomes without trying to be mean. And I used to work in a few companies where I personally saw CEOs like scolding their employees using bad words, and employees would just take it some because they are on visa and they cannot do anything. You see how the
Yeah.
power play happens. There are power corners in the
Exactly.
companies, and then though
Mm-hmm.
in MIT we study a lot about this, like how the power play happens, how some people can derail completely unless it is their way. You can see the power
Mm-hmm.
play happening in Congress these days with same thing. When people consume the power and play a powerful position, the complete
Mm-hmm.
leadership derails. So you
Yeah.
have to understand how to lead during this powerful dynamic, how to create value, how to create influence, how does this is where your executive presence, your own vision, your own inner mastery comes to the play. So we help leaders from switching to a technical solution where they're putting up fixes. Oh, I'm gonna,
Yeah.
put XYZ solution for this. I'm gonna hire a new employee. That everybody can do. That AI can
Yes.
advise and do. You don't need
Exactly.
a technical solution person as a leader. Even in Congress, we
Uh-huh.
see this. They're putting technical solution. We're gonna you put this money there, and we don't need to. We can ask
We
AI
don't
where
need
does my
this.
my taxpayer money go. It'll tell better advice because it can calculate and tell
Exactly.
us. So we don't need
Yeah.
some leader to tell us a calculated answer. We need leaders to show value, leaders to show faith, leaders to show a vision.
Beautiful.
So
Yes.
that's what
That's what
is
we
the
lack.
leadership is. Yes,
Yeah, that's what we lack. And so you have employee coaching program.
yes,
So you have the leaders coaching program and you have the employee coaching program.
yes.
So tell us something about that.
Yes. So,
And
I mean, we thought to bring this to like since I experienced initially this at as an employee in a corporate level, I feel like I have to go back and help the other employees in worldwide. So I partnered with Nuvita in implementing a well-structured turnkey solution which boosts the company engagement, reduces the churn rate, and improves the retention,
mhm,
and boosts the bottom line and productivity. So we offer corporate wellness programs to companies where they are experiencing the turnaround in the reduced employee diabetic risk, have
mhm.
being more fit. A lot of people who go through employees who go through our program say that I'm feeling 7 years younger now. I never thought I
Wow.
will lose 90 pounds. I never thought I will lose diabetic risk. I know. I mean, diabetic risk is so prevalent right now. Like
Oh
it is
yes.
70% chance that every employee will get it, and they don't realize until they retire. All their retirement will go about treating their diabetic, sugar, blood pressure,
Oh
fitness,
yes.
health issues. Whatever they made in 50 years, they are going to spend rest of their life solving their health problem.
Exactly.
So we tackle that
Exactly.
head on and help the
Uh-huh.
corporate bridge that gap. And every employee comes with lack of energy every day. We switch them to having tons of energy every day. Like I said, don't need not no need to define depend on caffeine for We help them become fitter,
Mhm.
become stronger. We have a very proven approach, science backed approach, where we are relying on
Mhm.
heart rate zones and smart scales and data driven approach. We
Beautiful.
are not pushing them through like giving up on their favorite foods or giving up sticking to a diet plan or do this kind of hard exercises. So we actually structure to each and every employee according to their goals, according to their needs, and come about helping them in a way that they are fit, they are feeling younger, they are feeling energetic, they are no longer with risk with sugar and diabetic, and then they are able to boost the product. All this means a great deal for companies, right? So their employees,
Exactly.
it feels like a home for them because they are taken care by their corporate.
Corporate. And sir, somehow one question is coming to my mind. It's something a little funny, but you said that uh, you help employees and leaders achieve their goals.
Yes.
Like, what if they do not know what the goal is? What their
Ex-
personal goal is?
Yes, that we have seen it. Like people are confused about their goals and they don't even think. So we are so this is what we do. We call it ledgering for them. So ledgering, like we have
Okay.
ledgering in your finance, so we have a ledgering in our mind. So actually, the way the
Mm-hmm.
mind stores our goals is by ledgering. So the
Yes.
day we stop ledgering, our mind doesn't
Mm-hmm.
know what our goals are. That's why most people cannot answer like what are your goals. I don't know what my goals are because they stop ledgering, they stop believing in their financial outcome, they start believing in their outcome that they will produce a meaningful outcome in their relationship, meaning they'll be meaningful to their children. A lot of people give up law in mid 40s, give up on their have them being any significant. Once we
Really?
bring them back to this ledgering and them help them
Uh-huh.
drive, we help them actually step into their fantasies once again. We tell them to
Wow.
open up, like what if this is just a fantasy, like what would your choices be? So then they start opening. So we help them fantasize again, we help them ledger again, we help them see that as a child, as a 20-year-old, I wanted to be making $1 million, but somewhere I gave up and stick to a medicority. Medicory become acceptable because we think the world is pushing us to be medicore. I have a relationship that is not working. My children don't even appreciate me. I think I'm going to get a divorce, and like I have. My employer doesn't appreciate me. There is no appreciation. Even if I push harder, I'll probably make $1 more and nothing else. But nobody thinks you can go back to that $1 million dream that actually started you on this path.
Yeah.
You- and we help them get them back there and I'll ask them what
Beautiful.
are your goals. Then they come up with 1,000 goals and okay, you have too many goals now, you're too ambitious. Okay, let's cut it down. So I have to cut it down mostly. Like I turn the people very ambitious all of a sudden, and then I have to reduce their goals to
Wow.
what are the 5 goals you want to achieve next week. So
That's amazing. You turn old people, like not physically old, but mentally old people to children again, young
yes,
again.
there you go. Yes, excellent,
That's
excellent
very
metaphor
beautiful.
there.
Thank you. That's very beautiful. And where can our audience find you?
Yes, I have two websites they can go to, like ekmallela.com, where
Uh-huh.
they can find my personal website. If they want to order my book, it is on Amazon. It's Amazon bestseller, Better You. Or they can order it directly, the book and the bonuses just for the $5 on thetranscendmind.com,
The,
thetranscendmind.com.
the transcendmind.com. Okay. Great. That was really great talking to you, Dr. Malala. And thank you so much for coming here. And I wish you a wonderful path ahead. And may that you change so many lives, so many more lives for the better. Thank you so much. And thank you, friends, for being here. And thank you for watching. And I'll see you next week, same time, 11 a.m.